Hello, William here from 222 Productions, and I would like to talk to you about Part 2 of Stage 1 of the Las Vegas National Finals at the grammatically incorrect Mount Midoriyama of American Ninja Warrior Season 9, in however much time I choose to talk about it, because there's no more time limit, starting now. So then, we've reached the end of Stage 1. Isn't that exciting? Actually, in all honesty, it actually was a pretty exciting episode in my personal opinion. Overall, I liked it. I think I might have liked it a little bit more. I'm not sure than part 1, but we got some stuff to get through. So, of course, was exactly the same as last time because it's the same stage. And it's just a continuation. But one thing that we did learn that we didn't know last time is that the Double Dipper is from the A&W Design Contest, and it was designed by a 9-year-old. So one of the best obstacles, not designed by the actual crew. So I'm going to have to talk about that. First up was Rigel Henry. Okay, dude, seriously. They did a profile piece about like he once did this competition where he had to wear a number, but he doesn't like wearing a shirt, so he oh my god, he pinned it on his shirt. Like, what the hell? Okay, seriously? Oh my god, that freaked me out too much. He failed the jumping spider, but like use some tape. You could put on your pants, maybe? Oh my god, that's just... Benjamin Humphrey, he fell the... Oh yeah, he was the one with the brother. He fell the propeller bar. He had a big flip off of it. It was pretty amusing. One thing that I should mention, before I forget... So it was revealed that a total of 5 ninjas did not compete in Stage 1 of the 100 who qualified. So those would be Dan Galazinski, Jeremiah Moore, Charlie Andrews, and Jackson Meyer, and Nick Patel. Unfortunately, none of them, they all had to back out, and as far as I'm aware, there were no alternates to take their place, so only 95 ran, which, you know, I mean, 100 qualified. Robert, we had a whole bunch of fast forwards this episode. Like Steve Seaver, who unfortunately failed Snake Run, Craig Richer, who failed the propeller bar, and Jerry DeLurio, who failed the Double Dipper. Robert Peachman was the next full run. And his whole quick thing was that his dad was visiting from the Czech Republic, but unfortunately he failed the flying squirrel. So the fourth run they showed was Tyler Yamaguchi. This was Yamauchi. I keep putting a G in there. Yamauchi. So he wants to be the shortest person to clear Stage 1. I think he's 5'1", I want to say. I like Tyler from his previous performance in San Antonio. He got some good air on the Double Dipper, and he managed to get revenge on the warped wall after he failed it last time. And he got I believe he with his gymnastics background, he got high on the flying squirrel, and he ended up clearing with 25 seconds left. So he officially achieves his goal, shortest person. Oh yeah. Okay, I almost forgot about this. Actually, you know what? I'll just say it since I've already passed it. Megan Martin. They did a segment about her parents, how happy she is that her parents are there, and how she helps her. Megan's run. It can best be summed up as everything going wrong. Unfortunately, so she got hung up on the propeller bar. She missed the rope. She just got stuck in no man's land. Had to reassess it. She had a minute 25 left at the jumping spider, and then she missed the landing on the parkour run. So again, in no man's land, she had like 30 seconds left at the warped wall. she technically timed out approaching the domino pipes. So technically, she is technically, as far as I'm concerned, it's considered a domino pipes fail. Which I guess actually one thing that I should kind of mention is that. So I was looking at the full results for this course on American Ninja Warrior Nation. Domino pipes. If you count Megan Martin as a domino pipes clear, technically only took out 2 people, and one of them was a timeout. So. I don't think that obstacle really did its job, honestly, because we've seen it. We saw it a few times how people were able to got hung up on the last domino pipe and then were able to pull themselves up, And even then, you had instances where people could still possibly clear, even though they spent that much time trying to save themselves. So I think, maybe the domino pipe's a little too easy, and maybe they should reassess some things. And also, maybe the time limit was a little too high. We'll get to that. So, commercial break. Brendan Pennell, he timed out at the end of the flying squirrel, unfortunately. Lost a ton of time on the domino pipes. I think that was the situation I was talking about. Okay, so next up was Sean Bryan. Now we need to talk about this profile piece. So they're talking about how he's a gymnast and how he's a man of God. And so they're kind of showing off both things. A lot of his profile was in the church talking about stuff. But oh God, when they showed him doing handstands in the church, first in the aisleway and then on the pews, I just completely lost it. Just completely could not control my laughter. I was laughing so hard because it was so funny. It was such a funny image. It's like, I don't know. It just, the whole, everything about it was, I just thought it was funny. I couldn't stop laughing. I was laughing really hard. And you know what? Sean Bryan, he did great on the course. He did a great course. That's what I write here. My handwriting's terrible. Minute 13 at Warped World. He did look a little tired. He had the pastors or fathers, ministers, whatever they're calling themselves, on the sideline. I always love that imagery of the people, of the guys in the official robes on the sideline being like, yes, woo. I don't know. I just find that funny. It's great. He did great. I think Sean Bryan definitely establishing himself this year as one of the top ninjas, I think. So we'll have to see how he does in stage 2. Bart Copeland timed out on the flying squirrel. Then we got Grant Clinton cleared. Hunter Garrard cleared. Hooray! Ben Antoine failed the double dipper. Ryan Suter of the Suter 7 failed the jumping spider, so we don't have to see them anymore. Brian Arter clear. Yeah, he got fast forward. Yeah. Then we saw Cassidy Marks run the course. Okay, so I rolled my eyes a bit at this profile segment because they start off by saying that, like, over the past 3 years, he spent a total of 2 months in the walk-on line. And I thought, oh, hey, that's a great story. It's related to American Ninja Warrior. They should expand on that. Then they didn't expand on that, and they went on a completely different direction, talking about his mom, similar to the profile that Nick Hansen had. You're just like, oh, she had some problems, and she wasn't there for me as a kid, but now she's better. Yeah. I just rolled my eyes at that point. I'm over it. I'm just so, I just tune out now for that type of stuff. NBC has to get really bad on the whole grief exploitation to get me angry now after the last week, quite frankly. But it's just, yeah, I don't know. You didn't like it's just another example. You didn't need it. You literally had another story. You tried doing 2 profiles in one segment. You're like, it's not necessary. Sometimes less is more. Sometimes less is more. But he ended up failing the propeller bar and had a big flip. God, you know what? If you're going to fail the propeller bar, have a big flip. It makes it more memorable and more enjoyable, quite frankly. So, next up, I was excited about this one. David Campbell. Yes. I've always been a fan of Dave Campbell. I don't want to say we're outright friends. We're friendly with each other. We've talked to each other behind the scenes at National Ninja League and back at the Pro Ninja Warrior event back in the day. He's a nice dude. He's a nice dude to me. But his profile piece is exactly the type of profile piece I like on American Ninja Warrior. It relates to American Ninja Warrior. His whole profile piece is about how at one point he was considered one of the top ninjas, but he has been on, quite frankly, a really big dry spell lately. So American Ninja Warrior 3, he had gone further than any other ninja. He failed on the ultimate cliffhanger, but he made it further than everyone else of the other people who failed the ultimate cliffhanger. And then in ANW 4, he failed the spin bridge. Sorry, spin bridge of stage 1. And then next year he timed out on the cargo net of stage 1. Then in ANW 6, he failed the silk slider of stage 1 because the mat wasn't properly inflated. That's a whole other story. Then ANW 7, he failed the coin flip of stage 1. And then ANW 8, he didn't even qualify for Vegas. And so now here we are in ANW 9. He barely qualified for Vegas. He still qualified. That's the important thing. But this was his chance to finally make it back to stage 2. And my God, I was rooting for him the whole time, and he did it. He did it, darn it. I'm so happy for him. And so one of the things I want to note is parkour run. Let's talk about parkour run a little bit. David Campbell is one of the few people, I don't know how many people actually did this. He's one of the few people who did parkour run the way I think the designers intended the ninjas to do it, in that he actually ran through all the steps and immediately jumped into the rope. Not a lot of people did that. I'm pretty sure the number's less than 10. Maybe less than 5, the people who did it that way. But David did it. I noticed he did it that way, and that stuck in my mind. Parkour run's gotta go. It eliminated 0 people. All it did was waste time for some ninjas, and even then, after wasting so much time, they still had the opportunity to clear because the time limit was a bit on the high side. So I think, like I said last week, I think they really have to change the formula up. It's been, all the obstacles in each spot have been a bit formulaic or had very similar themes. I think they need to kind of just, essentially spot 5 has been the half pipe attack spot. You can move on to anything else. I don't care what. Just move on to anything else, as long as it's good. But yeah, I'm so happy for David. I just remember when he's climbing the cargo net. As soon as he grabbed the cargo net, I knew he had it. And at that point, I'm just like, yay, yes, just like that. I'm just really happy for him. What could I say? Yeah, David Campbell, stage 2, 20 seconds left. And I remember actually when he hit the button, he was like, yes, finally, something like that, something along that line. All right, more fast forwards. Jamie Ron cleared. Yay. He's my A&W fantasy. Actually, I should probably just bring this up right now. Unfortunately, my odds, the chances of me beating Rich and Bijan are not looking good. Mathematically, it is impossible for me to beat Rich because 2 of my 3 remaining ninjas are also picked by Rich. And I'm too far behind that even if Jamie Ron wins the entirety of American Ninja Warrior, I cannot beat Rich. Bijan, technically I can still beat because we only have 1 ninja that as the same. But I basically need both Jamie and Najee to reach final stage, and for all of Bijan's picks to fail the first obstacle of stage 2 or something like that. So yeah, Unfortunately, it looks like I'm taking third place between the three of them. Oh well. You know, I took a chance. I chose ninjas that I felt like people were going to sleep on, but could do well, and yeah, it didn't work. Unfortunately, you know, is what it is. It's not like I'm going to be angry at the ninjas. You know, that'd be awful. Ryan Stroud is cleared. Yay, he cleared. Unfortunately, he got fast forwarded again. Why? Show Ryan. Jody Avila, he also cleared. At this point, they said that they had 30 clears already. We'll get to that. We'll get more about that a little later on. Zanique Levette, by far one of the standout rookies this year, especially on YouTube. I think as of right now, of all the ANW9 videos that are currently live, are currently public, I should say, I believe Zanique has the most views of all of them. So yeah, I don't know exactly why her video stood out from everyone else, but this is specifically her LA qualifier run. I don't know exactly why, but that's cool for her. Basically they rehashed the storyline from when she first appeared. She looked a little shaky on Snake Run at first. Thought she was going to fail that right away. Whew, good thing she didn't. But unfortunately, she couldn't get the distance on the transfer from the first bar to the second bar on the double dipper, so she ended up failing. Then they showed Tyler Gillette. Now, this was the one who who started training ever since he was 14. He was the super fan. Finally 21. He could move on. Finally apply to be on the show. This was actually one of my favorite stories from the year. Then they actually expanded on that in between. Which region was he from? I think it was from Cleveland. No, Daytona. I want to say Daytona. I could be wrong. Don't quote me. Like apparently his storm destroyed his course. He got poison ivy and chickenpox in between the regional finals and stage 1. But now he's here and he cleared. So yes, the Cinderella story lives on. As far as I'm concerned, he's the Cinderella story. Sorry. Oh, sorry about that. Fast forwards. Rebecca Benita failed the propeller bar. Brian Burkhart failed the jumping spider. Dave Kavanaugh cleared with 38 seconds left. Time limit maybe a little too high. Adam Rail. So he's a concrete worker. He's been a bit of a standout competitor this year also. You hear a lot about how Adam Rail is really good. Talked about how some interactions with the fan. I like it when ninjas do stuff with fans, you know. It's a nice story. He had a scary situation on the propeller bar, but hey, still cleared with 20 seconds left. I think Adam is perfectly capable of making a stage 3. Just a matter of if he can do it. Fast forwards, Alex Carson failed the flying squirrel. Carson Vales cleared. John Alexis Jr. cleared. Hey, I think that's the first time John cleared. So good for him. Next up, Kyle Mendoza. Oh yeah, I forgot to do this ahead of time. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do this right now. We're doing this live, like Bill O'Reilly doing it live. Let's see. Kyle Mendoza. Wait, America's Got Talent? Was he on America's Got Talent too? Okay. No, okay, that's weird. Huh. Okay, I'm sorry. For some reason, I guess there was a... Why is America's Got Talent the first autocomplete? This isn't even... The guy that comes up is named Kyle Tomlinson, and it's from Britain's Got Talent. There is no Kyle Mendoza on America's Got Talent. What the heck? Oh, that's weird. Anyway, let's look at his, because they made a big deal about his epic YouTube channel. And I remember they made a big deal about like, oh, look at, I have 140, he currently has 148 subscribers on YouTube, and it's like, actually, I'm gonna go to Social Blade too. We're doing this live still, and I just remember like hearing them. It's like, in this modern day of YouTube, that's unfortunately that's not like a lot. I mean, it's a lot, but it's not a lot. I mean, the number one guy on YouTube has like what 53 million, something like that. There's a lot of channels that have a lot more than that, and let's see here. Subscriber rank. 35,550 seconds. So there are 35,551 channels that have more subscribers than Kyle Mendoza. And views-wise, they're okay. I don't know. They seem. Let's see. How many views does his most popular video have? 1.9 million. Okay. So he had a couple of videos that went viral, I should say. Some how-to vids. Okay. I think I see where this is going. So it seems like this is one of those channels where like, kind of is like looking at some of the stats here. It was big a while ago, views-wise, but it seems to kind of look at the more recent stuff. His stats have kind of plateaued. Kind of weird to talk about it on his profile, because the profile, I guess, I follow a lot of YouTube business stuff just for fun. I think it's a very interesting topic. But yeah, I just remember not being like really impressed with the stats. But hey, I mean, he's doing better than me. I mean, my stats are not impressive at all. Just to make this clear. Yeah, okay, all right. He's got stuff. He's got stuff. It seems like his most recent stuff, he's really kind of taking a dive. Just kind of looking at it. So, all right. Yeah. All right. You know what? I mean, the channel did better than I think A&W made it seem like it was in terms of stats. But I mean, whatever. It's his YouTube. He's having fun doing it. I was just curious about the stats. Anyway, he failed the double dipper. Yeah, just a bad transfer. I talked more about the dude's YouTube channel than his run. There's not much to talk about. All right, so next run was Jessie Graff. Okay. So first off, I was shocked that they showed Jessie before Kacy. We'll get to that. So her profile, I'm surprised her profile didn't focus more on like, oh, she made history last year by clearing stage 1. That was surprising. It focused more on her joining the circus, at least for like a temporary thing. And, hey, you know what? I'm sure it meant a lot to her. It was a cool little segment. It was different, and I appreciate it. So here's the thing. So I need to make some full confessions. Full confession time. Going into stage 1, before either episode aired, I thought that at most only one woman was going to clear stage 1. And this is simply because of last year's results. The course was really hard. I kind of looked at the field and I thought, you know what? It's probably going to be a tough course again. Maybe we'll have a little bit more clears, but, there's only 12 women. I'd love to be wrong, but I predicted only one woman would move on. Now, the thing is, I thought that one woman was going to be Jessie Graff. So when Alyssa cleared last episode, my immediate thought was like, oh, hey, I'm going to be wrong. That's awesome. All right, cool. Oh no. Oh no. No. Oh boy. Okay. So, unfortunately, similar to Jessie Graff, similar to Jessie Lebrecq, which actually makes Jessie Lebrecq's profile even funnier. I feel like I didn't sell that enough. I really liked Jessie Lebrecq's profile last week, but hey, the two Jessies fell on the same spot in the same way. Jessie Graff shockingly failed the transfer from the last flying squirrel to the cargo net, and I was legitimately shocked. That got a loud reaction. I mean, just like couldn't believe it. Yeah, I don't know. It was so weird because she looked really good, and she had plenty of time. I know in her interview afterwards, she thought like, oh, I got overconfident. That's what happened. But I don't know if that's it. Like, because like when I watched the episode, I thought distance wise she had it. I think she just missed the cargo net. I think it's just as simple as she missed. I don't think it's like overconfidence or anything like that. She just missed, unfortunately. But yeah, that sucks. I mean, it happens, but yeah, that sucks. Oh well. So, fast forwards. Sarah Heeson failed the propeller bar. Mitch Vitapo failed the jumping spider. And Nicholas Coolidge cleared. Of course, he doesn't get a full run because it's Nicholas Coolidge. So 36 clears at this point, according to them. Najee Richardson is next. So this was, so they talked about how he moved in with his girlfriend, and now he is only 5 minutes away from the Movement Lab. That's the one in New Jersey that the first National Ninja League was held in. Hey, you know what? Good for him. Hopefully he's happy doing that. Talking about putting pressure on him, though. Akbar said that Najee was his pick to win the whole thing. And I'm like, whoa. Whoa. That's an endorsement. Whoa. Whoa. So Najee lived up to the endorsement and he cleared. And I didn't write down how much time he had left, like an idiot. But two important notes from his run that was very notable. So first off, on the flying squirrel, he reached the top of the cargo net, basically reached the top of the cargo net from the transfer from the last squirrel. That was really cool. I don't know how many other people did that. Maybe one other person. That's impressive. That's how you know someone's a former gymnast when they can get those type of laches. Also on the double dipper, he did a front handspring on the dismount, and yeah, I know I'm generally like anti showing off, but he wasn't showing off. It's very clear he was not showing off from that. That was more of a, hey, I landed, my momentum is going forward. I'm a gymnast. I know what to do in this situation. I'm going to do a front handspring to keep my momentum going. And that's what he did. And he finished. So yeah, so it's he looked cool while being practical in how he does things. So good on you, Najee Richardson. I appreciate you. And there's a reason I picked you on my A&W fantasy team. Because I knew you were good. And you're proving me right. So thank you. Even though you'll probably never see this. But that's just my guess. Daniel Gill. Okay. This has been weird. This whole thing with Daniel Gill has been weird lately. Because he got one profile in the qualifiers. But then in the regional finals, even though he was the only person in San Antonio to clear, he didn't get a profile piece. They came from commercial break and like, all right, here's Daniel Gill, go. And he cleared. And that was weird. And now here we are again, and Daniel Gill doesn't have a promo at all. It was just, here's Daniel Gill. He went second furthest last season. We expect big things from him. And at that point, similar to last time, I thought Daniel Gill was going to fail. Because since when do people who clear not get a promo piece? Like, that happens so few times where someone gets a full run but no promo and clear. But not only did he clear, the dude cleared 48 seconds left. That's really fast. I believe that's actually faster than Lance Pecos. Was that faster than Lance Pecos? Yes, that was faster than Lance Pecos' time. I don't get it. I'm so confused. This is so, like, unlike A&W. It's crazy right now. It is absolutely crazy. When I think about this, can you think of someone who has gone in 3 full runs in a single season so far, but only one profile? I can't think of anyone else. Can you? Like I don't get it. It's so weird. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. But anyway, then it came time for Kacy Catanzaro. So, I don't know if you heard of this Kacy Catanzaro person. A&W tends to make a big deal out of her. Okay. So, right off the bat, let's just talk about how this episode started. It started with a Kacy Catanzaro little mini tribute in the intro. I joked about in the past about how they were going to give her a 20-minute retirement special in the middle of the episode. And then for a second I thought that was actually what's going to happen. I can't believe they're still doing this with Kacy. I know this is the last time they get to do this, but I am fairly certain that of all the women, she still got the most airtime. I could not believe they put her after Jessie. Because, like, so they started this with Kacy. And, okay, and I need to call out A&W on their crap here. When they showed Kacy doing an interview, supposedly right before her final run, or like the day of, whatever, it actually said September 11th, 2017, which is the day that the episode aired. And I'm just like, are you serious? You're actually going to act like this interview is happening right now? This interview happened today? This episode is occurring in real time? That makes no sense. That literally makes no sense. The way that A&W bends the space-time continuum on their show makes no sense, and this one made the least amount of sense. I'm flabbergasted. I don't get why they act like these things happen in real time, or the order that things, or like they're acting like this episode took place a week after part 1 did. It's like, guys, you don't have to do that. I don't get it. We know the show was filmed ahead of time. It's fine. You don't have to admit that it was filmed ahead of time, but you don't have to pretend like it wasn't. You can be more vague. You can say in the previous episode, not last week. Also, this whole everything about this doesn't make sense. Because if this show was happening in real time, how would they have footage of the next episode at the end of every episode? Huh? You have a time machine or something, A&W? Like, just don't pretend like these things are happening in real time. Anyway, so okay, we need to talk about Kacy. I'm going to play both sides. I'm not going to say I play both sides. I'm just going to give my honest opinion of Kacy. I imagine there's going to be people who like Kacy who aren't going to like some of the things about to say, and there are people who don't like Kacy who aren't going to like some of the things about to say. So, Kacy, for those you don't know, is retiring from A&W. Actually, she's retired from A&W officially. She is working for the WWE. I'll get to the WWE part in a little bit. So, they talk, A&W for years now have been promoting Kacy as such a big deal. And some people resent her for it. Now, it is 95% not her fault. Because, she has no control over how A&W presents her. The way A&W presents her at times is absolutely ridiculous, quite frankly. They act like she won the show. There are actual people in this world, I kid you not, who think Kacy's the one who won the show. There is an actual video on YouTube that someone took. Someone ripped the Kacy beating the regional finals, putting it up line, and it has a title something along the lines of like, "Watch this girl win Ninja Warrior," like win the whole show. The description says she won the whole show, and it's like, wow. Now I say it's 95% her fault, not her fault, because the other 5% is that, quite frankly, Kacy had one good year on A&W. Maybe you can count this year as a good year, but A&W 6 was her best year by far, and the rest of the years were not that great. A&W 5, she failed to qualify for regional finals, failed the second obstacle of Vegas. A&W 6 was when she had her best year, made it to the jumping spider of stage 1. A&W 7 failed to qualify for finals, and then in Vegas, once again with a wild card, failed the second obstacle. And then in A&W 8, same exact thing. 3 years, of her first 4 years had the same exact result. Failed to qualify, and then get a wild card, failed the second obstacle of stage 1. But A&W just promotes her all the time. I recount a time where they were talking about this one dude was having a profile piece about how his mother died and how how torn he was, and then it cuts to Kacy. Like, it fades to black, fades back in, Kacy's there. I crack up laughing of how absurd, of how many times they'll stick her into something. And I realize that's not what they were going for, but I don't care, because it was funny the way you did it. And then I remember AEW 7, they're on stage 3, and the pole grasper's there, and Ice was like, you might remember that this is one of the obstacles that Kacy cleared when she cleared the regional finals of whatever reason it was when she cleared. And I'm just like, dude, she's not on the, she's out. Come on. And then, yeah, All-Stars, first All-Star special, once he got to 19 feet. It's like, that's the height of if you take Kacy Catanzaro and put her on top of the warped wall. And it's like, my God. You guys will find any excuse to mention this woman. It's like, no wonder people hate her. They're sick of hearing about her. She is the human equivalent of sugar. You know, having too much of a good thing. You get sick of it. It makes you sick to your stomach. The way they promoted Kacy is absurd. It's all because she went viral. Now, here's where I'd be fair to Kacy. Kacy, if you talk about who are some of the most iconic ninjas in AEW history, Kacy absolutely deserves to be on that list. Because she brought a lot more attention to the show than, I wouldn't say anyone, but then a lot more than a lot of people. Kacy, to this day, between the two official Ninja Warrior channels, Ninja Warrior and American Ninja Warrior, the Ninja Warrior channel got converted to Team Ninja Warrior, but of all the American Ninja Warrior clips, Kacy Catanzaro's clearing of the regional finals in AEW 6 still has the most views of all of them, over 16 million. And on YouTube, that's impressive. Now, I know what some people might say. What about Jessie Graff last year had like a video that had like 50 million views on Facebook, something like that. I don't know, it might be higher. What I'll say to that is that Facebook inflates their numbers. Heavily inflates their numbers. So I don't want to take anything from Jessie Graff. You know, a lot of people watch that video still. But I'll just say, don't trust the view counts on Facebook. If you want like a much better representation, look at how many times the video has been shared. That's a better representation of how many times it's been viewed. You know, it's going to be a little higher than that, the share number. But the way that Facebook counts views is creates misleading numbers, let's just say. YouTube takes more priority in being accurate with their numbers because of advertisers and all that stuff. But that's an entire different conversation. So here's the thing. Kacy, during AEW 6, was impressive. She made history. She was the first of 3 women to clear the warped wall in the regional qualifiers, and she's, to this date, the first and only woman to clear a regional finals. And it's big, and it got the show a lot of media attention, and it did a lot for her career, honestly. And I understand why they promote her. I just think they went too far. And honestly, if Kacy had been able to live up to the hype of AEW, I feel like the hate that she received from a certain section of the audience would not be as loud. You know, there's always going to be haters because, you know, the world exists. But it's a combination of the reason she gets hate. It's a combination of AEW over promoting her to a ridiculous amount, and not just over promoting to a ridiculous amount, over promoting her at the expense of the other competitors. I think that's the part that bothers me the most. Is just it hurts. Quite frankly, better competitors, better women, I feel like have been overshadowed by Kacy this year, and I feel like Kacy leaving AEW is the best thing for everyone, quite frankly. And the reason it's good for Kacy is simply because she admitted she doesn't like doing this anymore. She straight up admitted it. So why keep doing it? And we'll get to the W stuff too. It's good for AEW because now they don't have the Kacy crutch. They don't feel like they have to promote Kacy for whatever reason. You know, they have to promote other people. They have to promote other women. Maybe they can do a better job of promoting people equally. You know, maybe promote Jessie more. Actually, no. The amount of promotion for Jessie Graff got was pretty good. Let's leave it at that level. Let's not do to her what she did with Kacy. And it's good for WWE because it gets them a good name, and quite frankly, I think she can do well. So, I'm actually very surprised that Kacy signed. I'm not surprised that he made an offer. I am surprised she signed. She did the training thing in January. Not a lot of people reported this, but it was reported in July that she was spotted in the Performance Center again. And at that point, I said, she's probably signed. And then a couple of weeks ago in episode 1 of the Mae Young Classic, WWE officially announced that Kacy had signed. Obviously, she had signed earlier since it was a pre-taped special. But yeah, she's now going to be a wrestler. And her profile piece signaled the fact that she was a wrestler. She's going to be a wrestler and had her training in the WWE Performance Center, which is weird. It's weird to see two of like the shows that I watch on Mondays on the same show. It's so odd. And you know, they had people talk about how she was inspiration, and there's no doubt that, you know, that's another positive that Kacy had. She was inspiration, and there's a reason, because she's a small woman who did well on the course. That's the reason. So yeah. So I think she can do very well in WWE, simply because she's a gymnast. She's athletic. She has the skills possible to do it. The big question is whether or not she's willing to commit. The only person I feel like who's standing in Kacy's way right now becoming a successful wrestler is Kacy herself. You know, I mean, the current Raw Women's Champion, Alexa Bliss, is a former gymnast. So, yeah, it's totally possible that, and Alexa's like 5'1", I think. So, yeah, Kacy can do well. And who knows? Maybe she turns out she's a really good heel. Maybe she's really good on the mic and just be like, "Yo, you all stink," or something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I wish her the best of luck. I think this is the best move for all people involved. And hey, you know what? Now that she's in WWE, she'll actually get paid. Because AEW doesn't pay you unless we have very specific reasons. You get paid a little bit for making regional finals this year, I was told. But it ain't going to be the money that she gets from WWE. So, good for her. She failed the double dipper. That's really all I'll do. She passed the propeller bar, but she failed the double dipper. That's really all I said. So, fast forwards. Ayla Gonzalez cleared. Josh Salinas cleared. And Josh Salinas cleared with 56 seconds left, making him the second fastest run of the night. Spoilers. Surprised he didn't get a full run, because if he was so fast, you could have just fit him, probably. And then the last run of the night was Drew Drechsel. He didn't get a profile piece. He got an interview. He got like a little interview segment. He was just like, "Oh yeah, you know, I want to do." Actually, I don't even remember what he said because I didn't write it. Something about nerves. Something about nerves, and that's it. Oh yeah. So Drew went fast on this course, to say the least. He went stupid fast. Like that's a good kind of stupid. He went fast on the course. So. And the scary thing is, okay, I'm just going to say it right now. He finished with 61 seconds left. Holy crap. That's a lot of time left on the clock. And the funny thing, and the amazing thing is, he could have went faster because he got a little bit hung up on the propeller bar. He could have gone faster. He did the same skip on parkour run that JJ Woods did. And, I mean, what else is there to say other than that? He did really well. He did really well. And he cleared. And so I believe, per the rules, he gets to do stage 2 last, which means he gets to see 40 attempts first, which, you know, that's useful information. So we end up finishing with 41 clears. That's a lot of people. That is the record. That is more than any Sasuke, more than any A&W, probably more than any ninja competition that's a show, honestly. It's a lot of people. I can't imagine the producers were happy about that. I have a feeling they thought that was too many people. They probably what happened was they saw what happened in the course last year, record low. And they said, okay, we got to make the course a little bit easier. And they did make the course a little bit easier. I believe I read they made the propeller bar easier. I believe the distance was shorter, and they made the jumping spider easier. The distance was also shorter between the trampoline and the jump. From what I read, domino pipes took out one person. And I'm not going to count Megan, because it's so easy to recover. The time limit was very high, 2:35, and that's actually 15 seconds more than last year. And as a result, you had we had instances where people made recoveries from big time wasting moments and could still clear. Parkour run is a joke. No one failed that obstacle. Some people got hung up, but again, that obstacle needs to go. Quite frankly, the propeller bar needs to go. It's, they've nerfed it. It took out some people because it's an early obstacle, but it's just unnecessary at this point. And, they could use something fresh. Personally, I'd get rid of Snake Run just because I want a first obstacle that is not steps. And also, Snake Run looks kind of lame because they're small little lily pads in the water. Like, kind of something different, Do Rolling Hill or something. Go in the Sasuke lexicon and see what they went with first off. You know what? A&W will do this. Make the rope glider the first obstacle. That'd be cool. So jumping spider, it's been around for so long. I wouldn't mind if they got rid of it. And you got to keep the warped wall. Double Dipper is definitely a keeper, although I have a few things to say next week about what you could do with that obstacle. Flying Squirrel, it's fine. Kind of wish they would have something besides Lachey's in it. In hindsight, it sounds like I'm being really negative. I really enjoyed watching this episode. I think I would just be really... I'd be disappointed if the course was like exactly the same next year. A&W, stage 1 could use some freshening up, but this was fun. Overall, this was fun. I think it really shows the benefit from an enjoyment standpoint of having a hard time limit. Also, having a course where clearing actually matters is nice. And overall, stage 1 I enjoyed. I enjoyed stage 1 overall, I say. And I'm going to read off the 41 names. 41 people are moving on to stage 2. And they are as follows, from fastest to slowest. Drew Drechsel, Jocelyn is Daniel Gill, Lance Pikas, Hunter Garrard, Joe Morosky, David Kavanaugh, Nicholas Coolidge, Jamie Ron, Brent Stephenson, Thomas Stillings, Matthew Ilgenfritz, who unfortunately got cut. Poor guy. Flip Rodriguez, Travis Rosen, Kevin Bowl, Najee Richardson, Jody Avala, Tamla Yabushi, Mike Bernardo, Eric Middleton, Cass Clausen, David Campbell, Adam Rail, Brian Arnold, Sean Bryan, Michael Salinzi, Tyler Gillette, Nick Kostreski, Ayla Gonzalez, JJ Woods, John Alexis Jr., Josh Levin, Carson Voiles, Drew Knapp, Ryan Stratus, Alyssa Beard, Ian Dory, Andrew Lowe's, Grant Clinton, Sean Darling-Hammond, and Nick Hansen, who conveniently was the first run they showed clear. And that is the entirety of stage 1 in all of my thoughts. So, let's stop. Just shy of 48 minutes. This is what happens when you take the limiters off. I go full stretch it wide open. So, what did you think of stage 1 as a whole? What did you think of stage 1? Did you like stage 1? Did you feel like they didn't do something you didn't want, you didn't like? Did they do something you didn't like? Did they do something you did like? Just let me know. Stage 1, let me know. What'd you think? I'm tired. What time is it? Oh, boy. I gotta get this video edited now. Next week is the season finale. We've reached the end. For much to my surprise, it's not a 3-hour finale. I thought, I think A&W7 threw me off. I thought we were going to have a 3-hour finale next week. It's only 2. My mistake. Next week, we're covering stage 2, stage 3, and if necessary, the final stage. I have no idea what happens in the results because I avoided that promo that aired at the end of the episode because I'm smart. I knew better. I know I believe I know the course for stage 2. I know a portion of the course for stage 3. I know about the time limit for stage 2, and I'm going to have words on that next week. So yeah. Also, 41 people are taking on stage 2. You know people are getting cut. There's gonna be a lot of fast forwards. There might even be people who take on stage 2 whose runs are just not shown at all, which I'm gonna feel bad for. Yeah. As for next week, I don't know. I'm trying to think like how many people I want to clear stage 2, because usually I'm of the opinion like if stage 2 can take out half the competitors left, then it did its job properly. But like 41 people are taking on stage 2, so maybe we need a little bit more. Maybe if it's more like 75% of the people get taken out, then stage 2 did its job. So, you know, if we get around 10 people in stage 3, I'll be happy. I think that's a good number, you know, plus or minus, let's say 3. But yeah, stage 2, 3, and possibly final all crammed into one 2-hour episode. That's gonna be rough. I just realized there's gonna be like a lot of editing in that, because that's not enough time to get through all that much stuff. Unless stage 2 ends up being a massacre again and only like 2 people. If we only get 2 people in stage 3, I'm gonna be very upset. I'm just saying that right now. I'm gonna be very upset if we only get 2 people in stage 3. So yeah. All right. Well, we'll cross that road when we get to it. So until next time, we'll see you next week for the season finale of American Ninja Warrior. We're almost there. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.